So what we do is at Cultivate Farms is, I guess, a matchmaking service, and we never set out to create the Tinder of farming or eFarmony. It just happened to be that we felt that actually was an awesome solution, and it took us 3.5 years to figure out what we actually needed to do. So the backstory is that I grew up on a dairy farm in central Victoria, and I still remember that day I walked back from the dairy with Dad, and I said to him, "Dad," and I'm probably about 8 years old, and I said, "Dad, when do I get the farm?" And he, like no hesitation, just laughed in my face and said, "You're not getting it. Mum and I had to work hard for this. We didn't get it given to us. And how else are we going to retire? We're selling." And I just head down and knew straight away I would not be a farmer. And that was the reality. And that is the reality probably for thousands of people across the country who either can't inherit for some reason or have never had the chance of inheriting unless they go and get themselves adopted by a farmer. So I went off and worked for government for far too many years and caught up with the good mates, Tim and Tegan Hicks, and they're frustrated wannabe farmers as well. And Tim said one day, he goes, "Oh, all I want to do is farm," and he's 42 and they've got 4 kids, "but I'm not a millionaire. Imagine if there was a business that helped to buy farms for young people." And straight away I went back to being 8 years old, and I thought, imagine if that business was around when I was 8, I would have just said, "Well, stuff you, Mum and Dad, I'm going to go get my own farm anyway, and here's what I'm going to do." And that's our hope, I guess, is to get the very best in Australia to become farmers and know that you can own a farm. It is about how much you want it, how much you want to hustle, and it's also about the retiring farming age bracket as well. How much they're open to sharing, I think, is a key factor here. And also we want to unlock this concept of investors. So investors are not necessarily rich people in skyscrapers in Melbourne and Sydney. They could be your next door neighbour, your family. There's crowdfunding, and I'll talk about all those options at the moment that we're uncovering as well. So I'm going to give you heaps of practical ideas, lots of case studies to try and inspire you, because I know there's a broad audience here today. But the main thesis here is there are people who want to own farms who are the best. There are people who have farms already that are looking for options to get next generation on. And there's people with money who want to buy farms. So how do we connect them up so they can find amazing opportunities that's a win-win for everyone? And I guess that's the core of what we do. A lot of ways you don't need us. We're just a matchmaker. You can do all of this yourself. It's just about getting out there and connecting with people. And a lot of the content, if you follow us on social media, is us just giving super practical ideas for every angle of these stakeholders of how you can go about owning your farm. So the 3 areas we focus on in day-to-day are around hope, farm ready, and matching. So a lot of what we're doing is actually going to people and say, you can own a farm. I remember talking to a teacher one day and told him about what we're doing. He said, "What? I could own a farm? I would quit my job tomorrow if I could own a farm. What do I do?" And so a lot of this is just inspiring people that farms are expensive, but it doesn't mean you need to buy the whole thing outright from day dot. You can earn your way in, you build relationships, and you can get there. So a lot of it's around inspiring people. The next is farm ready. So once you've got that hope, hopefully that gets people thinking about, well, maybe I go do the ag course, maybe I go work as a farm hand for 10 years, maybe I go build my skills and online training. What am I doing between 5 p.m. and midnight every night in my desk job to try and get my skills up to be the best person that anyone with a farm or with money would want to back me because I'm having a red hot dig. And then the third is the matching. So once we've got the right people who connect, it's just getting them together around the kitchen table to figure out an arrangement for that farm and for those people. That's a win-win. So these arrangements, these matching arrangements, could be lease to buy, vendor finance, equity. We don't mind what the exact arrangements look like, and we don't get involved in those details. We leave it to your advisors or to other experts to work that out. But the arrangements just vary horses for courses, based on, again, the people in the room, the amount of money they've got, the skills they've got, etc. This is a nice squiggly diagram to try and encourage people to think about how you can get on your pathway to ownership. And this is focused at aspiring farmers. And so we sit down with our members and we work through these diagrams with them around what are you doing to build your skills and what are you doing to get yourself in front of farmers or investors who could back you. So it's around discovery, training, employment, and then self-employment. We're really encouraging farmers to get on and lease properties, to become a contractor, to build a business, because that's what a farm is. Show that you want to have that knowledge and that you are skilled at running a business, so that when that farm opportunity does pop up, someone does believe you are good enough and knows you've had a red hot dig. And in a lot of ways, we're trying to steal all the ideas from the tech world and Silicon Valley and applying it to the farming world, that if There is, you might have met some people who have developed an app or some sort of technology, and every time you hear them, they're saying, "Oh, I'm after money. I'm seeking for. Do you know any investors?" And here's the pitch, and they're always pitching, and it's annoying. And imagine if we had the same thing happening with next generation farmers who want to own a farm and constantly on the money about what they want, and they've got their plan, and they're going to tell anybody they meet and be as annoying as possible, because that is how you open up doors for your opportunities. So lessons learned, and this is where I'm going to go into a lot of case studies. From aspiring farmer, retiring farmer and investors' point of view, an aspiring farmer's point of view, we've spoken to many farmers, and I'll go into some details, but back in an envelope calculation, if you're on the average wage trying to buy the average farm, you'll be saving for 32 years eating 2-minute noodles to try and get on it. And we think that's terrible. We want to cut that down to 5, 10, 15 years. So that's their big issue. Retiring farmers probably thinking limited in what their options are. If the kids don't want it, it's either die on it, family succession, or sell. We're saying there's a few other options out there. Why not try and back a kid that's not your own, and not just any kid, the best family in Australia, the most outstanding couple that you could meet. And then for investors, we're finding there's people with money, and they either grew up in the country, or they're still there, or they've just retired from farming, and there's money in the bank, and they don't know how to play the share market game. We're saying let's unlock those people to invest into farmers, and so we're encouraging aspiring farmers, even current farmers, to pull proposals together, because these people have money, but they don't have the time to run around, find the farm, do their due diligence, find the farmer. We want these farmers to be out there putting it on a plate for them and presenting an awesome opportunity. So save them time and bring them deals. A bit about us. Our mission is around breaking down barriers, and a lot of this is mindset. We just believe this is just about mindset. This is no longer about capital, is not the thing holding people back from owning a farm. It's about building relationships, and it's about hustling. And what are you doing between 5 p.m. and midnight to open doors to your farm? And our bigger vision is we do really want to rejuvenate regional communities. We've all come from farms, and we want to see a brain drain from the cities back to the bush. And we think if we can unlock this barrier around capital, we can get the best and the brightest back onto farms and more people farming. So some case studies. Retiring farmers. This is just a small farm, but one farm we matched, I think, earlier this year. 60-acre farm. It's a bit of agroforestry and beef. Very steep, amazing property up east of Melbourne. Retiring farmers just said, our kids don't want it, but we would love to back an awesome couple who love the land and are going to see the farm, realise the vision that they've had for the farm. So we've matched them with a great couple who are from Melbourne, and now they're working for the next 12 months to get to know each other. The farmers are going to get a job elsewhere and slowly work their way onto the farm. They're going to build up the agroforestry business. But it's up to them now with their advisors to work through the transition arrangement, which looks like a 10-year arrangement where the aspiring farmers will put money into a savings account and try and get that up to the amount that they can get in debt from the bank. And after 10 years, the retiring farmers will take the money and head off to the beach is their plan.